Hey everybody, good afternoon. Everybody hear me okay? Excellent, excellent. Great to see you. I decided to be a little fashionably late to this particular chat only because we did send a text message out with the link, which I'm guessing you guys got because you're all here. But my beautiful wife mentioned that she didn't get it, so that means some people probably didn't. So I went ahead and posted it on our Facebook group. So if any of you get messages from your friends asking for the link, just tell them to go to the Student Center on Facebook. I just went ahead and reposted it there again, just for those that might have not have received it. So, and I see that we have more and more jumping on now, so that hopefully made a difference. And we're also on Facebook Live too right now as well on our main page. So if anybody reaches out to you, let them know that we're there, and our numbers are definitely growing. So that seemed to help. So sorry about that. If you're jumping on now and you didn't get the text message with the link on there, my apologies. Actually, I sent it out on two separate occasions. So uh, again, it must have been me getting too close to a computer. So I apologize. It does happen for whatever reason. So um, not intentional, I promise. In fact, things for the most part have worked really well lately. I want to take an opportunity. We got a lot of things to cover today, and a lot of real exciting things. So I'm super excited to be here with you guys this afternoon. And I know it's a beautiful Saturday out there. So thank you for taking a few minutes for me. Truthfully, we went back and forth on when to do this chat, but honestly, I felt like the sooner the better because I really want to get information out to you guys as far as where we stand and where we're going. And a lot of this is going to be coming out to you guys in a lot of different formats, hard copies and electronically over the next few days. But I wanted to have this chat as a opening of the door, so to speak. And so, number one, I just want to start with a few quick things. Congratulations to everybody on here right now, because whether you are a brand new student in our school and have chosen now during this interesting time in our history to get started in the martial arts, you've done that. You've gotten started, and we're very proud of you for that. For those of you that were at our school and a part of our school before this interesting situation took place, congratulations to you for staying engaged. I can't tell you how proud of you we are. I simply cannot explain it in words. This morning, we had our first live classes in almost 3 months outside, and they were super productive, and it was just a really good opportunity. We really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys that were there enjoyed it as well. It was such a motivational opportunity for us all. So that to me was the first step in the next direction for us as a school. And so it was great to take that step with you guys that were there. And we look forward to taking more steps like that over the next couple weeks. But you guys have proved yourselves. You have proved that you have set the goal to black belt and beyond for those of you that are already there. And so we're very proud of you for that. I'm sure a lot of you have been listening to our government and the news, and you probably are aware that restrictions are starting to loosen up all over the state, which is really good news, not just for our school, but for us as Michiganders, right? I mean, we've all been asked to do our part and to do a lot of things, and it's been a lot of sacrifices for all of us. And it appears that because of that, we're able to now start moving forward in some more positive directions, and that's really awesome. And so our stay-at-home order has been lifted, and we were able to do some outside classes today. Big step for us, right? And it is definite. Even over the last week, more and more things are opening up and opening up and opening up. So we'd like to today announce our tentative, and I say tentative because we still have to see how this next week progresses, and our hope is that it will progress in a positive way, and this will be what we are able to do. But our tentative reopen date of our school as of this moment is June 15th, Monday, June 15th. So that'll be a week from Monday. And so if you're excited about that, clap. So we are very excited about that, and I was super excited about it before this morning, but after being out with a lot of you this morning, I am even more excited about it. We had some really great lessons today, and I want to thank those that supported us both on Zoom and live for those classes. And one of the things that I will mention is we're going to talk about a lot of things this afternoon. We're going to be releasing details about everything I'm going to touch on, posting, texting. I actually have a list here because I know that I'm going to miss something. Mailing, emailing. I'll be making some videos to go along with this. We'll have pictures. There'll be schedules that are released, et cetera, et cetera. So we can't wait to have you guys back, but know that a big part of that, I'm just gonna mute a little bit here. A big part of that is making sure that we do this properly, so that we are very excited to have this opportunity to re-engage with everybody. And it's really important that we do it the right way so that we can keep this opportunity and so that everybody in our school feels comfortable and safe at our school. And that's always been our goal in the martial arts, is to provide an atmosphere that is safe and comfortable for all of our students, where they can develop confidence and know that they'll be taken care of well. And we want to maintain that as we move forward. And in the past, that might have been more of a emotional and mental security. Now we have to, of course, make sure that there's a level of physical security and science and health, and practice that to the highest level, to the next level, right? And so what I want to start with today, I want to give a lot of you some bullet points of two things, really: general procedures of what's going to be happening in our school, and training protocols of how we're going to conduct classes to start, and then things that we're going to provide for the students to help make all those things possible. Okay. And one of the things that I'm sure you guys have heard a lot, if you've been listening to our governor, I have spent more time reading executive orders the last few months than I ever thought possible, to the point where I need a new pair of glasses at this point, because we want to make sure that we're on top of what's going on for your guys' benefit. And so we have a lot of procedures, a lot of things we're going to work on. And the important thing, I think, for us to remember is this process was never set up to be a light switch. It was definitely set up to be a dimmer switch. And we had to turn down the dimmer and go online like we are right now. Now we're starting to turn the dimmer back up, but it's still a dimmer. And so a lot of the things I'm gonna list off today are things we're going to start with, and we hope as the dimmer keeps getting turned, we can start to progress and loosen those things. But we have to start somewhere. And so, one of the things we're going to be releasing, I'll be posting it later this weekend, we'll be sending out, is going to be a new schedule. Okay. And the new schedule is going to be a much more robust schedule than what we've been working with on Zoom, to allow for even more detailed instruction. And this new schedule is going to be it's going to be a live and virtual schedule. And so I'm very proud to say that we have taken steps in our school. We've even made it to the, by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm at the dojo right now. Did you guys notice that? Yeah, I'm not sitting at the Dojo of Solitude. I'm actually at the dojo right now. I forgot to mention that. That's why I came here, was to show you guys this background. I almost forgot. So I'm sitting in the dojo right now in my uniform for the first time in a long time. So I'm happy to be here with you guys. But anyway, we have a new schedule coming out. We're real excited about that, because it's going to be actually pretty simple. Every single class that we run in our school will also run simultaneously on Zoom. So for the next, what we anticipate, truthfully, and again, everything I'm telling you is tentative, because things could change tomorrow, but tentatively, we plan on continuing the Zoom classes more than likely through the summer, simultaneously with the lessons that run in the school. Today, we did a really good test of that in our weapons classes out in the parking lot. We actually did it in the parking lot, which is even harder, to be truthful, because of connections and things like that. And it went really, really well. And we're really happy about that. And so we're going to continue that process. Today was kind of the dry run of that. It's one of the reasons why we did those classes. And so we've actually taken it to the level, we actually have 2 separate internet service providers in this dojo starting Monday. So we're going to make sure that we're able to provide. Come to find out, that's actually legal, by the way. I had to ask that question. You can actually do that. You can get internet service in 2 separate providers, just so you guys know, in case any of you are interested. So, but anyway, we will actually have 2 separate providers so that we can actually have all 3 of our training floors simultaneously doing Zoom lessons. We could even take groups outside like we did today if we need to. It's really going to help our flexibility. Of course, we really hope that many of you will come back to us live as much as we're allowed to and able to. But we also are going to continue through the summer, at least at this point, the virtual options for everybody. Now, the new schedule will be a dimmer switch in the right direction. For those of you that are Black Book Club members, we're going to go back to having the Black Book Club time attached to your classes. And so that's going to be really helpful and really easy. So when you come to class, you'll only have to come to that class, right? You're not going to have to come to separate classes for separate things. So that's really going to be helpful. We're actually also taking the step to put the adults and the teens on that same format. So you will have your class, and then you will have your black belt opportunity of training attached to that. So, and for most of you right now, that's weapons training. For our youth, we're using the short stick. For our adults, we'll be letting you know what weapons to bring to that. And then for our Tai Chi, we're using the saber, and so on and so forth. And our Aikido students will be doing Aikido. But in any case, that's going to be we're going to be going back to that format. We have broadened the time frames for classes, but kept them to a restricted amount, to the point where we have 15 minutes between every single class to prep the school, to properly clean, sanitize, provide for the flow of students. And so that's really going to be helpful for cleaning and check-in processes that we're going to have for people to come into the school. So we'll be releasing the official schedule, but we wanted to make sure that you were aware that it is going to exist, and that the schedule will be simultaneously happening on Zoom as well. We're very happy that our stay-at-home order was lifted, and regardless of whether we're able to come back to the dojo on June 15th, we are going to be able to release the new schedule and implement that by June 15th. And so we're really excited about that. So whether we're live or virtual, we're going to use this schedule to help bring everything we're doing on Zoom up to the next level and hopefully implement it live too. In our school, there'll be several different procedures we'll be following. We're going to have specific traffic flow in our school. There'll be designated entrances into our school at the front of our building, exits out the back of the building, to allow for proper traffic flow as one class finishes and another ends. And so we'll make sure we have those things clearly marked. And of course, after coming in a few times, you'll have it down, no problem. We're also going to have outside markings and tents outside for safe entry. In other words, making sure that we have the social distancing marked outside as people are waiting to come into our school, having tents available. So if it's raining or something, we can put those up as well. Also making sure that we, of course, have that checklist on our front door. We want to make sure that if anybody's not feeling well or has any symptoms, that they do not come into our school. So I'll say that flat out. If you're not feeling well, please don't come to class, okay? And please make sure that you check the checklist before coming into our school, because sometimes we just don't think and we do things, right? So that'll be posted, and we'll be of course monitoring that. There will be face masks required for entry into the school. Outside classes do not require face masks, but indoor access to our school does require masks. And we're very happy to say that we actually, in the martial arts, masks are not unique to us, because, or are not a stranger to us. Ninjas wear masks all the time. So you all get a chance to wear your ninja mask. So look forward to that. And actually, we have custom masks on the way that have our logo on them that are black ninja masks. So I'm kind of excited about that. Excited to kind of test mine out. So of course, the goal there is to keep everybody safe and clean and so on and so forth. We will be doing temperature checks at the front door. So we hope nobody tries to come in sick, but we've got a whole bunch of these waiting. And it's actually pretty fun. Watch. 98.9. Uh-oh, I got a 0.2 fever. Good thing we're talking on Zoom, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, we'll be taking temperatures. It's really simple, really easy, just to help everybody check into the school. We're also going to have what are called the sneeze guards, which are the plexiglass guards and shields that a lot of times you see at the store. We'll have those at our check-in table. We'll have those at the front desk for any moments where we might be infringing on that 6-foot guideline, right? So also, we're going to be having hand washing and sanitizing before class starts. And we'll have stations for that, both at all the entrances and exits into the school. We'll also be doing a full spray and wipe down of all surfaces in between each class, making sure that all the frequently touched surfaces are cleaned frequently. Of course, the seats, the mats will be deep cleaned, of course, every day, but then also will be cleaned in between each class as well. And so we're real excited about that. We have some great quick processes to do that in line. So also, one of the things we'll be doing is, when it's appropriate, keeping the doors open for nice clean air exchange within the school. We do have to be very careful of our occupancy, of course, to maintain social distancing. And truthfully, on the mat, the schedule is going to provide for that automatically. What we are asking is that all parents and spectators do their part to truthfully only enter the school when necessary. Not that we don't want you in the school, we would love to have you. It's just we're going to literally have limited seating. And in reality, if there isn't a place to sit, that means that we're at that occupancy, right? So we're going to have all of our seating marked off for the 6 foot spacing for everybody. That is going to limit spectator seating quite a bit. Okay. And for parents that, of course, want to spectate and want to watch class and want to see what we're doing, we of course welcome that. And truthfully, that's going to be something that we're gonna miss from a lot of you. And so a great couple ways to remedy that situation, of course, is everybody, of course, is welcome to watch from the outside of the school, no questions asked. We're also more than welcome to log in on Zoom and actually be a spectator in the class on Zoom, so you can listen and hear everything that's going on. So even if there's not enough room to sit inside the school, you could very easily be out in your vehicle, log in and listen, whether you're at home or whether you're outside in the parking lot. So those are some really easy ways to actually stay engaged. And I encourage that. I hope parents will all stay engaged and any spectators will stay engaged. One of the things that we would ask is that everybody plan ahead when they come to our school. You know, our goal is to, of course, limit the time, so that you'll be able to come to class, do what you need to do, and then move forward. Of course, that's really important, not just for safety, but just for traffic flow, right? Making sure that people come in for their class and then exit for the next class. So it's more of a courtesy thing too, so that everything can go smoothly. And so with that said, to say it plainly, please use the bathroom before you come to class. Okay, the restrooms will be available and they'll be open, but just remember that whenever they're used, we're going to be going in there, we're going to be sanitizing and cleaning and doing all that. So if we could just do our part in making sure that, in most cases, we're going to be here for an hour at most. The instructors will be here all day, but you guys will be here for an hour at most. If you could plan ahead for that, that would be awesomely helpful. All right. Drinking fountains will be turned off for now. So it's important that if you want water for class, you can bring a water bottle with you. One of the things that I will mention again is if, of course, you don't feel well, please stay home. Okay, that's really important. Even if you're not sure if you don't feel well, please stay home. And the last thing we ever want to do is turn somebody away at the front door of the school. We really don't want to do that. We're going to be doing these checks and triple checking because that's our job, but we don't want to tell you to go home. So we're asking you to make that choice on your own. So please do so. Now that's more or less the general procedure. So whether you're a student, a spectator, a sister's cousin's uncle's brother, that's how you're going to enter the school. And some of the things we're going to be doing. As far as training protocol, what we're planning on to start, and I say this to start because we're going to be monitoring capacity and what we're able to maintain in the school. Everybody is going to have one live class assigned each week. And I say at least one because some of you are in multiple classes and multiple things. But if your standard schedule will be to come to the school twice weekly, we're going to start with one live class. And we're going to have, for the most part, the schedule will be structured to do that in an alphabetical format. Okay? So in other words, we've taken each class that we have, we've looked at the alphabet, and we've cut the class in half. And we've done this to provide for social distancing and good traffic flow and making sure that everybody can enter and exit the school and train in a very, very safe way. And by doing that, by using the alphabet as a tool, it's actually really helpful for us to start because now we have more than enough wiggle room. And we can monitor and turn the dimmer up as things improve and as restrictions improve, right? Now, so on the schedule, I will apologize in advance. It's going to be a busy looking schedule simply because we have to put a lot of things on it. We have to put the classes and who they're for, the times, of course, and then designate who is going to be coming live to those classes if they would like to. Okay. On the opposite days, you would be able to attend the class on Zoom. And so for many of you, you'll have at least 2 options, but in many cases, 3 to 4 options that you can do class. We would ask that you choose, of course, 2 of them for your regular classes. We're trying to provide more options to provide a more flexible schedule and to be able to divide everybody up for social distancing purposes. But the best way to progress is to just try to get in your 2 classes per week for your arts. That's really going to be helpful. And if you're comfortable doing one of those live, we hope that you'll do it on the assigned day. If for some reason your last name is Romanelli like me, and all the R's are coming on Thursday, and you can't make Thursday, reach out to us. We have enough flexibility to make reassignments, and that's why we did it that way. And we really feel that's going to be a good place to start. So if you can't make your assigned day, let us know, and we can do that, but we do have to check and make sure that we have enough space and enough room for the day that you would desire to come. And of course, the goal would be eventually to have all of you live 2 days per week in the school. So just to make some terminology distinctions, when you see the schedule, you're going to see the words live and virtual. When I say live, I don't mean like live on TV. I mean live like we're in person in class together on the mat. So just for terminology's sake, when I say virtual, I mean we're on Zoom doing class together that way. And so our goal is to provide 1 live opportunity at least per week for everybody. Okay? And one of the things that we'll want to make sure that, again, we do is if you need to change that class, make sure you have permission and reassign appropriately. Those that are unable to attend live class, of course, can continue on Zoom. Again, we're likely going to be doing that through the summer, and you're welcome to attend any class you'd like to on Zoom. We are severely looking forward to the live re-engagement opportunities, and nothing wrong with thumbs up and virtual applause, but we're looking forward to hearing that verbal feedback from you guys and getting back into that engagement back and forth. We really enjoyed that this morning. And a few of the students gave me thumbs ups during class because they forgot they could speak. I thought that was pretty funny. so that was enjoyable. We really had fun with that. And I was teaching and forgot that I could actually walk around the group and turn and be a little more three-dimensional. Senpai and I were making the joke that we were kind of stuck in. It was even worse. It was even different than like Nintendo, because Mario could at least go to the right. He couldn't go to the left, but he could at least go to the right, and the screen would follow him. But in us, the screen doesn't follow. So once we run out of space, that's it, right? And so we were kind of stuck in Donkey Kong world for a while, very two-dimensional and very trapped. And so today we were able to run around and do some things, and it was a lot of fun. And so we're looking forward to getting back to that with you guys, all kidding aside. Changing rooms in our school are going to be closed until further notice. So you want to make sure you come to the school dressed and ready to go. Those of you that do multiple classes and might be here for more than one class in a day where you have to change uniforms, we're just going to make that really simple. Just wear one uniform to all classes. That's fine. Really, we did that today outside. Really simple, really easy. We're not going to be changing belts and changing uniforms and doing all that. So wear the uniform that you're most comfortable doing everything that you need to do while you're here. Okay? Simple as that. One of the things that we'll, of course, be doing is making sure that, well, I hope you'll be doing, is making sure that you wash your uniform after every single class. You know, that's honestly, a lot of these things aren't, just things we should do right now. They're things we should do all the time. So please do that, not just today, but always for every class, okay? Make sure that you come in a clean uniform. That's super, super helpful. One of the things that we would also ask you to do is come with good shoes, so that if we go outside, you'll be able to go outside. That's not going to be our normal thing. We did that today, but there might be times where we say, hey guys, we're going to do this today. Let's go outside. And so we ask that you come to class with good shoes that you could work in, tennis shoes that you can train and do things in if that were to take place. All right. The staff team is going to handle all attendance checks and attendance cards. So none of you will be handling your attendance cards or anything like that. We'll be taking care of all of that process. We're going to be having specific social distance markers on the mat. So we're going to have you enter the mat at a specific place and then go to a specific spot and then pretty much stay on that spot. That's going to be your spot to work in and train in that day. And they'll, of course, be all spaced out with the appropriate social distancing protocol. And we've already got the mat mapped out, and we know how many that we can fit comfortably out there doing so. And that, of course, helps us create a schedule. Okay? We're going to have specific places for you to store your shoes and any equipment that you need for class. Now, for a lot of you, you won't have to bring very much to class at all, because number one, you're going to come dressed in your uniform. Number two, you're going to have shoes, which you'll take off and put somewhere. And number three, you may have a specific weapon for that class, and that's it. And we're only going to be using a very specific weapon for a specific time. So you're not going to have to lug in your whole bag of stuff. You're just going to have to bring a couple key things to class with you. And that should make it really simple and really easy for those of you that even have to do that at all. Okay? Classes for the time being will per the state's mandates, will be contactless classes, as they have been on Zoom, much like we've been doing so far. And so we'll continue that format. We're definitely looking forward to being able to engage more on a live basis with you and help you guys with those things that we would normally do with a partner. But in a live situation, we can, of course, help teach you those things, we hope even better. Although I feel that you guys have done a great job learning virtually. I think every week you guys get a little better learning that way, to be truthful. And we'll keep that up. But we're looking forward to doing it live. Of course, there'll be no shared equipment, so we won't be passing around shields, targets, things of that nature. Anything you use will be your stuff, right? And we would ask, of course, that there's no loitering after class. You're welcome to go outside and chat at a distance with your friends and all of that. But we ask that not because we don't want to see you, of course, but because we want to allow traffic flow and everybody to come for their classes. So those are kind of an outline of the general procedures and the training protocols. What I'd like to do is just remark about some things we're going to be providing to help make all these things happen smoothly and safely. We're going to be having several, again, I don't know if I said this before, but touchless sanitizer stations in the school. The bathrooms will have touchless soap dispensers that'll be there. We'll have disposable gloves available at any moment if you feel you need them for any reason at all. Disposable masks will be available at any moment. We'll also be providing custom Ninja masks, like I mentioned, that you can actually wash and reuse. And I would just consider that kind of like part of the uniform at this point, right? So, Ninja uniform, Ninja mask, right? And so we'll be wearing those to class and helping ourselves stay safe out there. And one of the things that we're striving to do is just provide everything that you need, so that if for some reason it's not here, or you didn't bring it with you, or you weren't able to do it, you're able to do it while you're here, as far as staying safe, staying clean, watching all of our protocols on that. As martial artists, we are supposed to be experts with protocol and etiquette. And so my goal today is to reach out to all of you that are listening, and I'm happy to say we have a really large group listening, and just ask that you join me in setting the example of this. That's really super important, because we want to make sure that we can keep turning the dial in a positive direction for everybody, and keep moving forward and keep bringing everybody up to the next level. And we're so proud of what you've done so far. When it comes to the schedule, I'll elaborate a little bit on that, and then we'll kind of open it up. I'm sure you guys have some questions for me and things, and I'll try to do my best to answer them. One of the things that we've done is for our just explain the schedule a little bit, so when you see it, you'll be able to decipher it a little bit. It is a little busy, I won't lie, just so we can fit everything on there for you guys. And we will be mailing out hard copies that'll be highlighted for you, that'll actually show you when to come to class for yourselves. So that'll be helpful by itself. But you'll get a chance to look at it before that happens electronically. And so all of our youth classes for the kids, for the karate group, literally are going to say youth, white belt to green belt, or youth, purple black through brown belt, or youth, I missed one in there, green black through purple belt. And so they're going to be labeled that way. And then below that, in most cases, you'll see, like for example, on the schedule I'm looking at right now, it says youth, purple black through brown. And then it says in parentheses, A through L live. That means anybody who has a last name that's in that belt range, A through L, could attend class at that time. And then the little BBC segments listed on there too for their black belt training. And so you'll see all that listed in different ways on the schedule. So all the youth karate classes are going to be listed. They'll say youth and they'll say their belt level. For our black belt classes, for the kids, we went back to the Phoenix designation for now. So you guys can find your class on there pretty easily because a lot of our color belts have changed classes. And so we thought labeling them on there by belt would just be easier. And that's what we've done on the Zoom schedule too. And so they maintain those same separations. And then for our team black belts, you have the 400 designation, the way that it's been for years, and our adult black belts. And all of our adults, we're going back to the 100, 200, 300, 500, 400 format. I can't count properly, but we went back to that format. So that it'll be really easy for our adult students to figure out where they belong. But if you're not sure, just reach out. We'll let you know. Okay. And we have designated times on there, of course, for our NIS classes, our Tai Chi classes, our Aikido classes. We have a few different options that'll be on the schedule for leadership class for our black belt leadership team so that we can divvy up that load a little bit on the floor. And of course, our master's classes for the youth. And the one thing I didn't speak about was Little Dragons. And Little Dragons, what we've done is we've also modified the format of your class. So you'll have one day you can come to live. And at this point, if you're out there listening, we would encourage you to select another day to also attend class on Zoom as well. And so we'd love for you guys to get into a twice a week format. What we noticed, we learned a lot these last 3 months on Zoom. We learned some things that really work well, and a great many of them, and I won't go through all of them today, but one of them was we really love the progress that our little guys have made, and many of them have been coming to class on Zoom twice a week, and we feel that's been actually really beneficial to the point where we're actually making strides in upgrading the structure of the program so we can teach them more because they're doing better. So that's been super awesome. How about a hand for little guys? Awesome. And so they've been doing fantastic. That's just been great. And we want to keep that format up. So we encourage that for our little dragons to come to the school for your one live class a week and then jump in. And I'm really happy to say that we've been able to provide several different options for that for you. We actually have 5 different Little Dragons classes for the little guys so that many times we're on our smaller training floors and want to make sure they have more than enough space to do what they need to do and be safe at their age level too. So we're really excited about that. And then Saturdays, we'll have our makeup classes and things available. Just like always, they're going to be by appointment. We'll only have so many appointments available, of course, because we want to maintain a certain capacity. We have a Little Dragons makeup class on Saturdays. So for those that I know have been missing the Saturday class, we will have that available to you again by appointment. And then also we'll have makeup appointments. And we actually have 3 different makeup classes. We have one for our Little Dragons and one for our purple black belts and below, and one for our white to purple belts. All right, and then there'll be several different options throughout the week. And again, we hope that you guys will jump in both live and virtually on Zoom to those classes appropriately. Okay, those are kind of my major bullet points. I'm sure I probably missed a couple things, but I would love to open it up for some questions at this point. So if you have a question, you could raise your hand electronically because we have a lot of you out there today. And I'm going to start with some of our Facebook questions first, and then I'll go into our Zoom questions. Do we have any questions on Facebook? Oh, okay. There are no questions on Facebook. But if any of you that are listening on Facebook have questions, go ahead and type them in, and then I will definitely address them. Keena's next to me. You just can't see her, but she's next to me, and she'll let me know, and then I can address those questions accordingly. But let's see who's raised their hand here on Zoom. When I call your name, just go ahead and unmute yourself because it'll take me a few minutes to find you. So let's start with, I see Ryan has a question. Ryan?
Okay, I can't wear a mask while working out since I have asthma. What do you recommend?
That's correct. That's a really good question, Ryan. We know one of the mandates that has been made by the state actually. I've taken a chance to listen to these things pretty thoroughly to make sure we have answers to all the questions. And you know, what we would ask is that if anybody has a medical condition that prohibits them from wearing a mask, we totally understand that. We would ask that you wear that mask for check-in. And then once you're in your assigned spot on the mat, if you have asthma or you have a condition that prohibits you from wearing a mask, we would like to see you know, some documentation of that, of course, because we have to be fair to everybody. But assuming that that's the case for you, Ryan, once you're in your spot on the mat and you're in your social distance position, we're okay with you removing the mask, tucking it in your uniform. At that point, when we finish class, we'll just ask that you wear it for entrance and exit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That seems to work pretty well for anybody in that situation. Actually, Miss DeCosta is in the same situation, so we were having that conversation with her the other day too. So you're not alone in that. So we have a lot of students in that situation, and we want you guys to go to train, but do so safely. But again, if for some reason you don't feel well, make sure you stay home and make sure you stay safe. Okay, but great question. Let's go to, I see John. Go ahead and unmute, John.
Hey, so where exactly is the new schedule posted, or have you not posted it yet?
I haven't posted it yet. Okay. I have a couple I's to dot and T's to cross on it. My instructors and I, we met earlier this week and went through the final draft of it, and I just have a couple quick edits that I'm going to make on it. And then but I will be posting it more than likely later on this weekend. So I would expect to see it probably no later than Sunday evening, posted on Facebook. That'll be the first time you'll see it, but we're going to also be sending it along several other ways. But Facebook is just the fastest way that we can get it to everybody. We will be sending it, via text message. We will be sending it, email, mail, all of that. And I encourage you guys, a lot of you have already supplied me with your email addresses over these past few months. I haven't made usage of that very much yet, but we definitely will as we start to hand out a lot of this material. So if you haven't, put a post in our student center with your email so we can add it to our list, okay? Because we really want to make sure that we're able to communicate with everybody effectively. And we'll be making phone calls and things too, okay? I see we have some Facebook questions. Keena?
How many students will typically be on the mat at one time?
Okay. The different training floors allow for a different number of students individually, obviously based on the size of the mat. Okay. And I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys heard the question. So, the question was how many students would be in a class, right? On the mat. Okay. We have measured out the mat appropriately. We're not going to max it out at any point, but to answer that the easiest, I think, on the main floor, and this is accounting for all instructors and everything involved, any leadership assistants, absolutely no more than 30 people would fit on that mat with appropriate social distancing. However, in most cases, the classes will be quite smaller than that, and we anticipate that, especially with the schedule that we've implemented. On the auxiliary floor, the absolute max number that would fit would be 18. But again, we anticipate those numbers being quite, we know they're going to be quite lower because of the schedule. Okay. And then in our introductory room that I'm actually sitting in right now, it would be just one student, one instructor, if that's being used. And in most cases, that would be used just for introductory lessons. So, okay. And each room in the school, again, will be set up with a virtual option as well. So, okay, next.
What's the start date for the new schedule?
The new schedule is going to roll out regardless on June 15th. So it's going to roll out not this week, but the following week. And normally we would have, I guess, given everybody more notice on these things. But truthfully, we didn't want to roll out with something until we knew we could roll out with it and do it the right way for you guys. And so we are going to, but what I can also tell you is for most of you, you're going to have way more options that you can go to class. So in essence, it'll be easier than what you've been doing. What I've noticed this past week is as you guys have all been re-engaging in other things, is attendance is starting to dip a little bit because there's only so many options for class. So we wanted to try to beef that up. We know a lot of our adults are having a harder time making earlier classes. We know that a lot of our kids are starting to get re-engaged in activities. So we're making a good effort to get that out quickly so you can take advantage of it sooner. And that'll be going into effect regardless of whether our doors open here live or not. We'll run the schedule on Zoom either way, okay, on the 15th. Hopefully we can run it live as well. So the only difference would be we wouldn't be here live, but the class times everything will be exactly the same. So I hope that makes sense.
What is an acceptable mask to wear, and how much are the masks going to cost? Is there a deadline to order them?
Oh, geez, I hope I didn't misspeak. Every single thing that I mentioned that we're going to provide will be absolutely free of charge. Okay, so there is no charge for masks. These are going to be it's our gift to you guys. You all get a ninja mask for surviving and keeping your martial arts training going. So, and we'll also have throwaways here as well. They don't have to be ordered because I already ordered 500 of them. So, so there, we got more than enough, and quite honestly, we'll be able to hand them out to probably some of the parents as well. And then we've also ordered. I have, I think, twice as much of that in throwaway masks right now. We'll be continuing to replenish our supply, so on and so forth. And did I answer all that?
Like, what is an acceptable mask?
Oh, well, acceptable mask would be exactly what our government has mandated. Just something that's going to cover your nose, your mouth. Okay. So next. That's it. Okay. I'm going to go back to the Zoom questions. Logan, I see a question from you. If you could jump in. I'll take
Yeah.
water while you asked.
Yeah. I was wondering about the water bottles, like bringing your own water bottle there. Where would you put them?
That's a good question. Whenever we come in for class, you'll have a designated place for your shoes and your gear and things like that. That you could, depending on what we're doing that day, if we feel like you're going to need it, it's going to be warranted. There might be days where we have you actually set it by you. There also might be days where we say put it with your gear, put it with your equipment, so that if you need to, we can let you walk over there and grab it appropriately. Okay, but the main thing I would say to everybody is keep in mind that we're going to be in the school for most of you for no longer than 45 minutes at a time is the way we have the schedule structured for now to allow for traffic flow, and truthfully we don't want anybody to get over exhausted or overheated or anything like that, and so that's really important. And the level and our methods of training are going to be as such so that hopefully, honestly, going to get a drink of water won't be a big deal for you guys. So, okay. But good, that was a good question, Logan. Let's go to Michael Tominello.
So I just wanted to ask about the leadership assisting. Are you going to talk about that on Friday with us, or do you want to say something now?
Well, I'll make a quick statement about it now, Michael, and then we can definitely talk to the team more individually on Friday. But yes, we're looking forward to having, and I'll say the word limited numbers of assistants in class, kind of to monitor the class. One of the things we're going to be doing is we're going to be simultaneously teaching live and on Zoom. So one of the conversations I had with our leadership team is that they'd be able to come in and help supervise what's going on in the mat. But of course, one of the questions that was asked earlier was about the number of spaces in class. Well, there also has to be enough spots on the mat for the instructor to move around and teach appropriately, and for the assistants to be up front and go to assistant to help. Now, they're not going to be walking in between students, but they'll be up front helping to guide and correct and do things, and just be an extra helping hand out there. And so we'll have a designated number that we assign to each class appropriately to make sure that everything is at the right capacity. So Michael, what we'll do is we'll spend some time going over the new, once the new schedule is released, then we can go through it with you guys and see what's workable. Those of you that are in that and doing that. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Michael. Rex and Jackie.
Still trying to figure out how to use the computer. Sorry, Sensei. So my question is the parking lot. Is there going to be a change to that? Because if we're going to be training outside, I am looking forward to that, and it sounds exciting. But I've known just from past and coming to Romanelli's for the last 5, 6, 7 years, that parking lot's full a lot of times with vehicles. So that's my question: is there going to be a change in parking or design? So when we do train outside, because that sounds real thrilling to me, and it sounds exciting. I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm just curious how the parking lot's going to change, or how that's my question. That's all.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. That's a real good question. Rex, what I would expect is truthfully, we're going to select the right moments for that, long story short, right? So number one, the parking lot situation is going to change quite a bit because, again, we're not all going to be there in the same facet, in the same schedule we were before. So that's automatically going to change quite a bit, right? So there's that. And truthfully, we're going to be selecting those moments to take people outside where it's most appropriate. And what I mean by that is is in many cases that's probably going to be happening in some of our adult classes and in smaller groups where if someone's pulling through the parking lot, we would easily be able to move and to do things and so on and so forth. I foresee us maybe doing, like we did today, some Saturday lessons and things outside if we have a larger group that we'd like to have congregate and do something, like some of our BBC seminars, things of that nature. And so one of the things that we did this morning was we pushed everybody to park in one side of the lot, essentially, right? And so because we didn't have a humongous group, we were able to push most of the cars in one direction and keep it that way. We find that on Saturdays, in most cases, a lot of the other businesses that operate in our plaza don't really do much on Saturday. We kind of have it to ourselves. And the other thing to remember too is that in the past, our classes ran much tighter. So in most cases, you actually had 2 classes worth of cars in the parking lot at any given time because there wasn't as much of a transition time, right? And so by creating this schedule the way we have it now, we're hoping to create flexibility with that and more mobility with that. But again, it's something we're going to monitor and have to solve as we work through it. Although honestly, today worked awesome. Like we kind of, to be truthful, we kind of geared up, myself and the staff. We're like, all right, we're going to do this. If this happens, we're going to do this. We're going to move this person over. And we got here and we said, if a big carpet truck comes in, we're going to move over here. Well, there was nobody here, literally nobody. I got here this morning and I'm like, wow, there was nobody. So it was actually really awesome. We had more than enough space, and the instructors made the comment like, wow, I didn't realize how big our parking lot really is. And so it actually worked really, really well. So, but going outside isn't something we're gonna be doing every class for sure. And that's why we've got the schedule planned out that way too. So, okay.
Thank you. Great.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go to Dina, Ken, Claire. Dina, Ken, Claire. How about Ken, Dina, and Claire? Maybe I said it wrong. Okay, Claire, Ken, Dina. And it appears they can't unmute for whatever reason. Let me see if I can unmute. No, actually they are unmuted, but I can't hear them. Sorry guys, I can't hear you for some reason. That's weird. If you want to put your question on Facebook, I can have Keener read it to me. We can address it that way, guys. But let me go to John. I see a hand from John. Or is that just an old hand? Oh, John's hand is down.
That might be old. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, Johnny. All right. Rex and Jackie, is that a new hand or an old hand? Oh, that's an old hand. I saw Rex hit that button. All right. Careful, Rex. Don't damage the device. All right. Did Ken and Dina leave him a question on Facebook at all?
Just about maybe like if someone has to miss because of the job.
Sensei, can you hear me now?
Yeah. I can. You don't have to scream, but yes, I can hear you.
Oh.
You're fine. Go ahead.
Guys in commercial. Ken had a speaker plugged into the microphone, so that was why. Anyway, it's his fault. So every year we get very excited about the new T-shirts. So is there going to be a new T-shirt design this year, despite everything that's going on? Because as you know, we love the T-shirts.
And that's an important question. I like that. All right. Funny you should ask. So yes, actually we have a very specific T-shirt planned for this year that we think everybody's going to enjoy. The staff and I have been well, we have to vote on the final draft, so to speak, this week. But yes, there will be a new T-shirt. And to make it simple, because I know a lot of you have been engaging with us electronically and will continue to do that for some time, we're going to make it something that can be ordered easily. We're going to make order forms, and we're going to keep it pretty simple as far as the design goes. We're going to have one design that's going to be available in several different color options. You can get the thing in any color you want. And actually, what we found is that everybody really, I'll give you a little bit of a sneak preview of at least the front of the shirt. We found everybody really, really liked, me included, our long sleeve design that we did this year with the ream on the front, the established in what was it, 2000, I can't think of the year, 2002. So we're going to be making that into a t-shirt, but the back is going to have something to celebrate our success these last 3 months, and I'll leave it at that. All right. And I think that's going to be cool. So we're excited about that. We can celebrate in all different colors, and that'll be helpful too, because if we go outside and train and so on, you know, that's nice to have. So for those of you that haven't had a chance to get one of our shirts yet too, that'll be helpful. So we're hoping to have those starting July. I do have to talk to our t-shirt guy and see how. I'm sure he's excited to get back to work, so it shouldn't be a problem. But I have to get him our final designs and see how fast we can get those accomplished for you guys, and of course get orders from you guys for those. So yes, we will be doing that and working through that. And there's even a rumor about maybe even some hats, but that was just a rumor I heard. So just something to throw out there for all you hat people out there. Ever see Sensei wear a hat? Yeah, that's exactly. All right. All right. Anyway, I hope that answers that question. That was a good question. I like those questions. Any other questions today? Going once, going twice.
So, like the makeup classes, if someone has to miss, it's the same thing. They have to just sign up for a makeup class.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I forgot. There was a question on our Facebook live stream there. Makeup classes. If someone has to miss a class, how does that work? Well, there's a couple different options, truthfully. One of the things, depending on your level, depending on the class, in some cases, you'll have more than 2 options for class that exist on the regular schedule. So if that's the case, if you're doing a virtual makeup, that's pretty simple. You know, just let us know you want to do that, and you can jump onto the class at the virtual option and do it. That's totally fine at your appropriate level and time, etc. If it's a live class, then those will have to be made by specific appointment so that we can schedule that for you, whether it's going to be a class you're going to jump in during the week or a class you're going to jump in on Saturday. And we truthfully have brought the schedule down a lot to start so we can monitor and see where the holes are for capacity, right? And so that way we know that when we start letting you come to more classes, it's going to be done at the right time when it's safe to do so. Okay? So depending on how you're asking that question, if it's more about live makeup, yes, those are definitely going to be made by firm appointments. And we would ask that you all please adhere to that, because it is, well, it's always respectful to do that, but now it becomes a very safe thing that we want to do as well. So, all right. Anything else, Keenan? Great. Well, again, I can't say enough to finish on some really good thoughts. I can't say enough how proud we are of everybody, and honestly, how thankful we are for all of your support these last few months. You know, they say that when times are tough, you find out who your friends are. And come to find out, I've got over 300 friends, and I'm pretty excited about that. So I want to thank you for that. It truthfully means a lot, because if it wasn't for you guys, I'd just be sitting here right now by myself, not worrying about anybody coming back, because it'd just be me. And so it has really been inspirational for me to see your progress. I was looking last night through some of the pictures and the videos and the posts that we've seen over the last 3 months. I was looking at, I got a chance to see somebody this week hold up a picture of their new stripe they got in the mail, and on the same day lost their tooth, their first tooth. And we're celebrating that with, you know, what you may call the holy smile and the paper with the stripes. And I flipped through my videos and saw a video of Superman making belt deliveries. And I saw pictures of the Green Ranger delivering a pizza to somebody. And I saw a Ninja Honcho delivery. And I saw pictures of students receiving their belts and tying them on for the first time, and videos of students practicing at home, asking questions, and posts of people thanking us for the effort that we're putting in, and seeing comments of congratulations to people that have made progress. And I think, you know, our message of the week this week is courtesy, and it's been so good to see you guys exercise that courtesy and respect for each other in so many different ways. And even though when we see each other live, We can't give you the same contact, high five, handshake, and hug that we usually would. We definitely look forward to reaching out and making contact in other ways. And it might not be physically, but I feel that our words, whether they're verbal or written, or I've been given a lot of long distance high fives, a lot of give yourself a pat in the back. And I'd ask you all to do that now because I feel that you've done a great job. And I applaud your excellence. You know, black belt in the martial arts is about obstacles, and it's about overcoming those obstacles. One of the first messages I got from one of our parents on our Facebook Messenger as this time started was something along, it was right after, some of you might remember, we had to change the link on our Zoom class structure, and we had to put a password to it because it was hacked. And some people that have nothing better to do than to cause trouble stormed one of our little Dragons classes and hacked the class. And it was something that I wasn't very, to say the least, not very excited about. And one of the first messages I got, you know, I was conversing with the parent, and I apologized for what had happened. And, you know, she had said, you know, honestly, Sensei, you guys are doing a great job. Really just appreciate everything. And it's a shame that people have to do things like that. But, you know, we know you guys are doing your best. And, you know, whether you guys know that or not, those things make us feel good because we, it's been a week, guys, sorry. But we are doing our best. And there's been a lot of obstacles thrown our way during this time. We know you guys have had to deal with a lot of them too. And it means a lot to see everybody engaged and to keep that engagement moving forward. And that's been the best part for me. We've got a chance to see that. And to finish my comments, now that I have my head back on straight for a minute here, my response to that message was, well, you know, truthfully, what kind of black belts would we be? What kind of instructors would we be if we didn't overcome the obstacles in our path? What kind of martial artists would we be if we didn't do that and set that example? And so I feel that you've all done that. I feel that you've all set that example and shown that you've set your goals to black belt and beyond, and you're not going to let anything get in the way. And I'm just so very impressed by that. So I want to thank you again for your support. I'm sure I missed so many things that I've said that I forgot to mention as far as just the things I've seen these last 3 months. But I'll make sure we put some recaps together. And one of my favorites was all the happy birthdays to Hancho. I'll leave it with that. And seeing one of our newest students, Ella Comerford, made a video, happy birthday, Hancho. I thought that was great. Sorry. Because that's what we've accomplished. That's what you've accomplished. That's what you've done. And Ella will be testing next week virtually for her yellow belt. And that, over the last 3 months, is what we've accomplished. Ella's gotten from white belt to yellow belt. And she has some classmates alongside of her doing the same thing. We're very proud of that. So if there are no other questions, you probably are done hearing me getting choked up. So just know that it's most of you probably know I don't get choked up very often. And well, it's a happy choke. I'm saying all that because I'm very happy and I'm very proud of what you've all done. You've reinvigorated and reproved to me what black belt's all about, what the martial arts is all about. And I do see a hand from Ken and Dean. I don't know if it's an old hand or not, but if you guys have any last questions, feel free to chime in, or we'll call it a day and let you guys get on with your Saturday.
That's old, Sensei.
Old hand.
Old hand, okay. We're lowering the old hand. Well, everybody, we'll be releasing details. Just thank you for your patience. We'll be releasing all the details as they come available, as we get them prepped for you guys. But keep your eyes on Facebook for posts. Keep your eyes on your phone for text messages, emails. We're going to try to get these things out to you every way possible so that you can be prepped and ready. Okay, so it's on the way. So thank you for that. Have a great weekend. It's a nice one already. It's supposed to continue to be that way. So on that note, I think I'm going to go home and cut my grass. You guys have a great weekend. It was great to see you.